Okay, look. Now, everybody might be wondering, like, bro, what are you doing today? You feel me? Like, what type of shit you got going on? I'm finna break it down for y'all, right? So, I had this viral clip. This clip that went viral on multiple platforms. Now, everybody was frying me, right? Because I made a valid point. And, like, everybody was kind of, like, wilding, you know? They like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, this, and that. So, look, I'm gonna make sure I play the clip back for y'all, right? We gonna play it from the top. Make sure y'all can hear it. Hold on. Is it muted? I think it is muted. Oh, there you go. All right, bet. Now we're gonna play it from the top so y'all can hear the clip y'all. So, if you got 4 friends, blood, and all of y'all get a $25,000 loan, and that's $100,000 for an apartment complex for y'all to go buy, and y'all just make everybody else, y'all put people in there, and now y'all boom, flipping the bread, bro, flipping the bread. Now y'all all save the money while paying y'all loans back. Bow. Second apartment. Now the next nigga got his own joint, like this but we still helping each other. The third nigga got his. So to sum it up, I made a video just saying how you could possibly get rich with your friends. Now look at the comments that I'm getting. It says, why you ain't do it? You wish getting a 25K loan was that easy. Why you ain't do it? Now everybody cooking me, right? That's majority of what you see. Like, why I ain't did it with my friends yet? Really, a lot of crazy, I was just giving an opinion. Now let's go check YouTube, you feel me? Everybody like, this man said apartment complex, you can't even buy a decent house nowadays for less than $200,000. This 10 times easier said than done, because they just out here giving y'all $25,000 loans. Okay, bet. So now I'm going to break it down. I'm going to put it into an even better perspective for everybody, right? Everybody just assumed that I did not know what I was talking about. So now, let's break it down. Let me put me over here so I don't be in the way. Okay, so we're going to start from the top, right? And this is just ideally how it's going to go. Now, if you start with 5 friends and y'all get the one fund, right? Every friend is going to have to need $35,000, which you multiply that by 5 friends, that equal $175,000, right? 5 people at least. So now, this is where we pull our capital in, correct? And some of y'all may be saying, like, well, how you know everybody can get the $35,000 loan? But that's exactly what capital is, right? Capital is money or other financial resources that you're able to invest to add on. So 3 friends might have a good credit enough to pull a $35,000 loan. The other 2 friends, you guys may have to use your capital, meaning saved up money that you already had or other investments that you other had in as far as stocks or just anything of value that you can add. Meaning everybody does not have to qualify for a $35,000 loan in order to put in for the $175,000 profit, So, like, that's cool. So, but now we get into the most important portion. What can $175,000 get us? Let's just say hypothetically it can get us a 500,000 6-unit building. Cool, right? That's not bad, right? With the down payment of what, $125,000? That's 25% of the cost. You only need 25% of the profit of the building. So that just means we only need 25%. That's not bad. We got 175K. Now y'all may be asking, so where the rest gonna come from? Financing. We gonna get it from the bank. Once you show the bank that, and they will cover the rest. You just have to pay the bank back. But the remaining 50K, people are like, oh, it's cost, but that's exactly what the rest of the 50K can cover, possibly. It can cover closing costs, inspections, reserves, repairs, sometimes even operating cash, That's just for, like, brain for thought, Like, you could think about that. You could use it for that at least. Now, this is the most important part because people always say, like, oh, how is the building going to make money? Or how are we going to operate any type of money or assets for ourselves? The building makes money by this. 6 units with a minimum of $1,300 of rent per month, right? So that means you're going to get $7,800 per month. Multiply that by 12, because it's 12 months in a year, right? $93,600. So that's just the sweet part, right? Because the $93,000 it's the gross, but it does not equal the profit that you're going to get at the end. I'm going to explain why. The $93,600 has to get broken down equally so you do not lose any income or you do not mess up the entire play for your whole group, So the gross potential rent is $93,600. That's what you're going to get estimated every year. Now we're just going to estimate operating expenses, which can be taxes, insurance, routine maintenance / repairs that you do not prepare for. Sometimes vacancies, because sometimes people do just up and leave, or people that decide they just don't want to pay. You got to pay for management and just other usually like utilities that you always have to pay for that comes with a building. So we're just going to assume that comes out to $38,600, right? That's fair. Now, the net operating income will be $55,000. Now, this is the most important because this is the income that comes after you already paid for the operating expenses and like before taxes and everything else that you have to pay as far as debt. So that is the actual amount of money that you could potentially end up with. Which, I mean, who would be mad at that? That's $55,000, right? No, that's not it though. You feel me? Look, I'm gonna say the bank still has to get paid, right? So people don't understand that the bank has to get paid. If you do not pay the bank, the entire play is over with. The entire house may be gone because you have to pay the bank or they're going to take away what they gave you. So what you get the $55K, that's before the before the taxes and everything, right? You have to subtract the annual debt service, which we're going to say is about $35,000, which is principals plus the interest, because they're going to always add a principal once you ask for a loan, as well they're going to add on an interest. The interest rate is really important, so you have to add on to that and keep that in mind. Now, after all of that is paid, you come out with $20,000 of cash flow money that's going to be distributed to you and your friends. Now, y'all might be like, that's only $4,000. That's only $4,000 if we decide to split the money up and take the profit at $4,000. Instead, we don't want to invest it. We want to take the profit and we want to reinvest it. Meaning, we're going to take that $20K property cash flow and we're going to decide as a group, let's not spend this money, guys. Let's save this money. Let's put this money up so it can get us further in the end. Because realistically, what are we going to do with $4,000 a month? Like, come on, bro, that ain't nothing. If we're going to go for it, we want to go for the long road. We want to go for the haul, right? So you take the $20,000 that you get in property cash flow. Now, from the money that you get off the, like, at a rip, you ask your friends, all 5 of you guys, $500 a month for 12 months. That's going to get you $30K. It's so simple, right? You get a free $30K. And now what does that equal? This is potentially $50,000 a year that can go towards reserves or growth so you can get past another building, so you can upgrade the building, so you can just have money to fall back on in case something unexpected happens with the building, as far as natural disasters, like, or let's just say the building may just get destroyed some way, somehow. But that's not it, because the 50K isn't the goal. We're going to use that to give us the boost and the momentum so we can go to the next position, correct? Okay, cool. Now, what we do after that? I call this the snowball effect. You know how you build a snowball and you just put the snow together and then like you just keep padding and you get a big snowball and it's firm, right? So this is how the first property gonna help us get to the second property. You need the cash flow. Like, that's the money that's gonna keep generating that you're gonna save. Like, you're gonna always get that cash flow. That same 20K, you're gonna always get it. It's gonna come like clockwork, It's nothing. So now the most important part is the principal pay down. This part of the mortgage payments is gonna lower what you owe over time, increasing the equity. Meaning equity is basically things that we own as far as the price. So now the price is gonna get closer to being ours 100% in price. So you have to make sure you always pay the principal down. That's how you also get loans off quicker, when you pay the principal. Now, the appreciation and the value creation. Now, this is the most important part. Appreciation can come from, meaning, okay, you bought the house. It was $100,000 when you bought it, but you fixed the house up. The neighborhood got better. You upgraded the inside. It got a washer. It got a dryer. It got carpet. It got like a basement, a full done basement. Everything decked out. The rooms are fine. Bathroom redid. Now that $100K apartment is not worth $100K anymore. You just upgraded it all the way and you appreciated the value, meaning it's more than what you bought it for. Now, you can do improvements with that, and it's not gonna be any higher NOI for real, because that can also increase its value, which is the best part. Because who doesn't like the value of something being appreciated or being increased after we already paid for it? Correct? Like, that's sweet. That's like if I go to the store And let's just say, oh, this happened with Jordans, right? You go get some Jordans. You keep the Jordans. You don't wear the Jordans. You don't touch them. But they only come out once every blue moon. So now you got this rare pair of Jordans because you didn't touch them. You didn't bother them. You didn't mess them up or get them dirty. Now this Jordan appreciated and it's worth more money. Now you can sell it for more than you bought it for. So that's the breakdown. Property 1 is going to equal more cash plus the equity for property number 2. And you do the same thing. And now you're going to get that for property 3 and so forth and so on. But it's no guaranteed timeline between each purchase that must qualify or like make a financial sense. It's based off you and your group and how you guys choose to move in a timely manner. It's no force. It's no, you don't have to rush. No, you take your time. You figure it out amongst you and your own friends. Simple as that. Now, everybody like, this is the most important part, right? The most important part. Everybody like, well, if it's so easy, why you didn't know people that do this? If it's so easy, how come nobody did it? I'm about to give you 3 examples of people that have done it. So let's go down to it. We got Boris, Oshi, Leonid, and Albert. 4 long-term friends. They all pulled in their personal funds. They bought a 55-unit apartment property with $300,000 in renovation project, and it turned into a 142-unit property. And now they went from that to 200 units reported, all off their personal money. Now that's just a route you can't go. They did not use any bank loans, any investors. They used their own money and they got it out the mud and they grinded and they split the cost down the middle. They stayed. Oh my God, I just got a brain fog, bro. They stayed patient, bro. Okay, I got a brain fog. Well, apology. But look, they stayed patient, okay? And that's the most important part. And they stayed disciplined. Nobody stole money from each other. Nobody decided, hey, let's go and do this. Let's go and do that. No, they kept the money inside the group and for the big project, which was the apartments, the units, because they all wanted the bigger picture, was to get more money. Now we're going to move to Johnny Sam. Shit, hold on. I should have looked up how to say the nigga name when I did my research. But look, we gonna say Johnny San Filipillo. Oh, bro. Johnny San Filipillo plus his friends, right? He was a San Francisco kind of guy, and he didn't have much money. Johnny was a regular guy. He did not have enough money to buy an apartment. So he put his friends together and they all pulled in their resources to collectively purchase a 5-unit building. They all stayed in one apartment each. And then they all purchased the building and put in all their resources together. That's how you work. That's how you put everything together. Maybe somebody did get a loan. Maybe somebody had $15,000 saved already and they only needed a $5,000 loan. But they all pulled in their personal resources. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how it works. That's the real breakdown of it for anybody that wants to do it with their friends and they know they don't have enough money. You take Johnny for example, and Johnny got it out the mud. Johnny did it how it was supposed to be done with his friends, who was he wasn't the money getter. Johnny didn't have that much money. He had a regular job and he grinded it out. If you wanted a perfect example compared to anybody that's a regular class worker, take Johnny for example. Now, Chad and Dale is another, Chad and Dale is perfectly a whole nother one, you feel me? Something completely different. What's these numbers in today's economy? This is today's economy, but they made complete more money in today's economy. I mean, if you look at what I'm saying, you think that a 300,000 renovation project that turned into 200 units is decreased in value? No, not at all. You think him purchasing a 5-unit building and then continuing to flip that and turn it into more got depreciated? No, not at all. Now, I got an even better example. This is today's economy for you. This happened in 2023. We're going to take Chad Dale plus family and friends. You see how I said Chad Dale plus family and friends? Chad developed an entire shared roof, a 35-unit mixed-use building in Seattle. And Dale also used, to finance the project, 13 family and friends. He used 13 family and friend investors, actually, who all ownership stakes in the LLC were basically based off how much they invested into the property. So Chad found 13 people. I'm saying if you just find 4 friends, Chad found 13 friends and family members to purchase a 35 unit. Chad got it out the mud. Chad found 13 real people. Now, it's hard to find 4 other friends alone. You think it was hard for Chad to find 13 friends and family members? And then turn it into a LLC? It turned it into an ongoing business, and Chad Dale and his 13 friends and family is turned now. Chad Dale and his family and friends of 13 is turned now. They all got their own house. They all got their own projects. And if somebody decided to bail out, that's fine. Because they all stayed until there was enough units for everybody to break off on their own and do their own thing. Because that's how it's supposed to go. You take that Chad deal, you take that Chad way, bro, you're going to be on fire, bro. You made this yourself? Yes, I did make this myself. I took the time out of my day to put this together and like make this myself. Now, I'm going to come to the conclusion of the entire thing. Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Yes, I was wrong about the prices and the cost, but I was giving an example to everybody that wanted to like patronize the clip. But I wasn't wrong when it came down to the process. I just didn't break the process down. I didn't give everybody like a step by step because I was making a clip. I was having a small discussion with my chat, and I decided to upload the clip. I'm like, hey, this is a good clip. Let me go ahead and post it. But everybody decided to banter me and try to say I didn't know what I was talking about, or it's not that easy, or it's not that simple, or that's not how it works. When in reality, it's nothing in life is easy. Nothing in life is simple, but that's exactly how it worked. And that's how it ended up working for my boy Dale, Johnny, and even Boris, Oshi, Leonoid, and Albert. Like, it can be done. You can get you can't get an apartment complex. You can get a house. You can get anything with your friends if you do it successfully and you break down the plan the correct way that it's supposed to be broken down. And I just say that to say that everybody should focus on capital. If you learn what capital is, a majority of y'all will not have a problem finding what friends you can use to do this without taking a risk. Because you know what type of, you can ask your friends, what type of capital you got, my boy? Like, if we decide to invest in this property together, what capital do you have to put towards the profit that we need? And he can either tell you, yo, I don't have no money saved up. I can ask for a loan. Okay, cool. We can see how that go. But somebody else could tell you, yo, I got like $25K saved up, but I can get a $10,000 loan. I could get instant. I can get approved for instant. My credit good. Fine. You can take that. That's possible. So for everybody that was saying it's not possible, it couldn't have been done, it can be done. It's been done plenty of times. It's just you have to find the right people, and that's probably the hardest part about the entire process is finding the right people that's willing to sit down, invest with you, be patient with you, take their time with you, put in their own money and risk, because it's all a risk together. Everybody has to stay patient and everybody got to stay down. And that's the only way it's going to work. I don't know why they was chatting on TikTok like it hasn't been done multiple times. I mean, it's just people, what I had to gain from it is like when people don't know something, they're always going to be the loudest people to voice their opinion. So majority of the people that was saying it couldn't be done or why I didn't do it or how many people done it, they just didn't understand everything that goes into the process. So I can't blame people for not knowing, but that's why I couldn't make the video, because it's like you have no reason but to know now, because I'm going to give you every reason to understand and know exactly what I'm talking about. But I appreciate everybody for joining and listening to this presentation. This is just, let's just say, I'm going to keep a segment like this around. We're going to do financial probably like once a month or something, just to, I don't want my chat to be not knowing. Like, if I gotta, my community can't be not knowing. Like, we gotta be on top of stuff. We gotta be in our bag together. We gotta figure this out together. So this gonna be an ongoing segment. We're gonna figure everything out. We're gonna get it out the mud. I'm gonna try to help as much as I can, because I'm still learning too. But y'all can learn with me. It ain't nothing but a process, man. You know, get it out the mud.